In Tears of the Kingdom, there are 4 regional phenomena, where you gotta go fix whatever catastrophe is going on. In Rito Village, it's all snowy and icy. At Zora's Domain, it's all mucky and icky. In Goron City, everyone is obsessed with this rock. And in Gerudo Town, there are Gibdos everywhere. These issues are all caused by one creature, or should I say, boss. Yeah, they're the bosses. These 4 bosses are the sources of the problems all over Hyrule, and it's Link's job to defeat them. But which one of these bosses is the best? Which one is the worst? Why are they the best?
Oh, get on with the fucking video already!
Okay. Let's rank them.
And remember, this is my opinion, so if you don't agree, that doesn't mean I'm the worst person in the world. Okay, bye.
First of all, the design of all of these bosses is so unique and different from one another, and I love it. Not a single aspect of them is similar to another, and I remember all of them really well too. Unlike some bosses, I mean, who really liked the Blights?
I did.
Shut the fuck up! Oh wait, I'm talking to myself again. Huh. Let's talk about the design! All the bosses look really cool. However, in terms of design, I'm putting the marbled Goma from the Fire Temple in last place. Look, I think it's awesome to see Goma back, and I think the rock crab thing is really cool. But like, it's a rock with an eye. I still think it's cool, but it just lacks in uniqueness compared to the others, and I don't know, it's cool, just not as cool as the others. In third place, I'm gonna have to put Queen Gibdo. I think the Queen's design is really cool and terrifying, and I love the purple glow on the antennas, but my problem with it is that we had been seeing Gibdos prior to this fight, so it's not like super mind-blowing when we see her. And that also has to do with the fact that we fight her before we even enter the temple, but like, I mean, the design is still really cool. I just think the top 2 are a little bit better. In second place, I'm going to have to go with the Muktarok. Okay, so I know this guy is like kind of goofy and stuff, but I think from a design standpoint, it's really cool, especially when it turns into like that muck shark. That just looks awesome to me. I don't know, like the purple glow and stuff, that's so cool. I think it's funny looking, but when it's mixed with the muck, it's just so cool. First place is Calgera. Calgera is so cool. I mean, it's a giant ice centipede thing. I think it looks super cool, but also makes for an intimidating boss. The icy glow that comes off from Calgera is super cool as well. I just think all around Calgera is intimidating, visually appealing, and super awesome. The difficulty of these bosses range dramatically. Some are pretty tough, and one of them is super easy. Now, I'm not ranking them purely based on easy to hard. What I'm looking for is like a good challenge, while not being like too difficult or too easy. In last place is Calgera. Look, as cool as this boss fight is, it's definitely the easiest one. There's some challenging parts to it, I guess, but when comparing it to the other bosses, it's pretty easy. In third place, I'm putting the Muktarok. I think this boss gives a pretty good challenge, but it does feel a little easy in some areas. Like, I remember it being kind of easy to hit it with water in order to attack it, but when it's in its muck form, it's a pretty fun and challenging fight. It's just, you can kind of spam water at it if you have like a lot of splash root or something, so yeah, it can be really easy. In second place, I'm putting the Marbled Goma. I think this fight is actually kind of challenging. I think the attacks from this boss are really predictable, but it still keeps you moving and super alert. Hitting the Goma with Yunobo's attack is kind of hard as well, since sometimes Yunobo will just go straight under the Goma and miss its legs completely, especially when it's above you on the ceiling of the dome. I think this is a pretty challenging battle. In first place is the Queen Gibdo. Now, I'm going to be honest, this fight pissed me off.
Why the fuck does it get me every time? What? Damn it, damn it, damn it!
It pissed me off a lot, but I also suck at this game, so yeah, take that as you will. This fight is pretty tough though. The attacks from the Queen are very precise and accurate on you, and the damage done to you is brutal. The fight gets especially hard when other Gibdos start appearing in the arena with you. It is super tough with the tornadoes as well after you hit her with like a lightning strike. I think there is some level of unpredictability with this fight as well, as she can fly to different parts of the arena. Sometimes you can't see her when she's like right above you. I think this fight is a good level of difficulty, where it's challenging, but not to the point where you want to quit the game. Okay, well, I didn't want to quit. I still played the game. But yeah, it's a great fight. The gameplay in each of these is very fun, and provides a great boss battle experience. But in last place, I'm putting the Marbled Goma. Yeah, I know. The difficulty level of this one is great, but it is very, very repetitive. The same attacks are used over and over, and it just kind of becomes you running in a circle around the dome the whole time, like just trying to avoid like those bomb attacks. It's definitely not the most fun gameplay-wise, but it's a cool fight. In third place, I'm putting Queen Gibdo. Once again, the difficulty for this one is really good, but it just feels a little repetitive at times. It's also just not as effective since we already fought her outside the temple before, so we kind of have some idea of her attacks before we go in. I think this is a fun fight, but it's just not quite like the top two in terms of like the gameplay and actually playing against her. Now, in second place, I'm putting the Muktarok. I don't care, dude. I don't care. Now, this was a difficult choice between first and second place, if I'm gonna be honest, but I ultimately placed it here. I think this is a super fun fight. There's lots of unpredictability here with the different attacks this guy has got, and I just think this little guy is so funny. I mean, you've got the laser shot, the like muck blast thing, and it's swimming around. It's just super cool. I think what really makes this one interesting though is that usually when we go to the water place, it's like, okay, time to fight the water guy. But with this one, it's not really water at all. It's different and I like that. It's just a really satisfying and fun fight. I don't really know what else there is to say. Everything makes for a super cool and fun fight. And I mean, you get to fight it with Sidon. Who doesn't love that? In first place is the Colgera. Now, even though this one is definitely the easiest boss, I adored this boss battle. It's different from the other bosses because instead of there being like a weak period where you can like attack, you actually dive through its vulnerable points. It uses the new diving technique so well. I think the flying aspect of it is super cool too, where you're just kind of in the air in like the kind of icy wind. I think its attacks keep it interesting too, with it teleporting through like the different portals and shooting ice as you dive down. It's definitely the most fun, the most epic, and definitely the most memorable boss fight for me. The environment of these bosses really matches the vibe of all of them super well. They each have their own special feeling to them and really add to the fight. But in last place, I'm going to have to put Queen Gibdo. We're just kind of in a little box with sand. It's not the most interesting environment. It makes sense for this fight, but it's just a little boring. I don't know. In third place is the Muktarok. I think it's a cool place for the fight, but we're just out in the open. It doesn't really feel like a fighting arena, but rather just a big landing area. It's still really cool though, with like the low gravity and stuff, and the area is pretty cool itself too. In second place is the Marbled Goma. This is a super cool place for a fight. It's a big circular dome, which actually comes into play with the fight when the Goma goes to the top. It also makes sense with Yunobo's charge attack too when he rolls around in it, and it makes it a more menacing fight as well, with all the lava and fire. It's a really cool environment, and it makes sense for this fight. In first place, I have to give it to the Colgera. I'm sorry. You know what? No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. This is just the coolest one in terms of environment. You can practically feel how sharp the coldness of the ice is in this. The gusts of wind, the snowy and icy atmosphere, all while flying around. It's just so awesome. Like, come on. This is just the coolest one in terms of environment for me, and it really adds to the fight. Okay, let's talk about who you fight the bosses with now. So now these little bitch asses are willing to fight with you, because they weren't willing to go into the Divine Beast with you. Well, Teba was, but then he got hurt. And he isn't even who you fight with in this game. It's his son, Tulin. Even though all the other ones are the current champions, so why not do Teba for this one too? Anyways, let's move on. So, in last place is Tulin. I'm sorry. I still kind of like him, but like in comparison to the other ones, he's definitely my least favorite. He's just a whiny little ass. Like, shut the fuck up, you little piece of shit. Just do your thing and help me out here. But in all seriousness, like, he's cool. I like his discount Rivali's Gale. It's so much worse than Rivali's Gale. Rivali's Gale would be so useful in this game. Whatever. Tulin's cool, but like, why not Teba? I loved Teba. I mean, still my least favorite out of the four, but I was so hyped to fight with him finally. Especially since he was the only one willing to fight with you in the last game, but just got injured so he couldn't. So why not Teba? What? Are you serious? So because he has the body of a god, he couldn't do it? Man, fuck this stupid fucking game. I hate this fucking game. Fuck this. Fuck Tulin. Fuck you. Fuck the fuck piece of shit. Fuck. Okay, sorry. Let's move on from this. I can't. In third place is Riju. Oh yeah, sure. She can stay, but not that motherfucker Teba. He's too fucking tall, so get him the hell out of here. But yeah, Riju's cool. I really like her. She's smart, she's a badass with the lightning, and she deeply cares about the people of her town. She's gotten older now when looking at her height, which is a really cool detail. But with her attack, I have to use an arrow every time. I don't like wasting arrows. But yeah, she's still super cool. In second place is Yunobo. Yeah. This is the same ranking as the old list. Look, they haven't really changed at all, so my list remains the same. Well, one of them changed, but we won't go there again. Yeah, Yunobo's awesome. He's kind of an asshole when you first meet him in this game, though, but that's just because he's addicted to that rock meat. Rock meat? What the fuck? He's gotten a bit tougher, but he's still a little timid. I love Yunobo, and his attack is super cool, too. It was really annoying to aim at times, though, which caused some frustration during the temple with the minecarts. Yeah, Yunobo still pisses me off, dragging him around and such, but I still love him. And of course, in first place is Sidon. What do I even have to say? He's Sidon. He's the greatest character in this game. He's charming, kind, thoughtful, hot, marriage material, look, he's just really cool. He's just super likable. I was so excited to get to fight alongside Sidon in this game, and it was so much fun. I just really like Sidon, and you should too. I also love the fact that he becomes the king of Zora's domain at the end of this quest. It just really puts the cherry on top for me. Okay, so the music in boss fights can have a pretty drastic impact on the vibe of the fight. It can make it super epic or just really lame. All of these are pretty good with their music though. But in last place, I'm gonna have to put Queen Ginto. I think the track fits the fight really well with like the desert theme and stuff, but it's just not all that epic in comparison to the others. It fits this fight really well though, and is still a cool track. In third place is the Marbled Goma. I think this one fits the vibe really well too, and is super epic at times. I just think it's kind of empty though at some points. Like some of the parts just don't have too much to it, making it not as cool. But when it is in full force, this music is absolutely awesome. In second place is the Muktarak, but it was a very close call. I think the music here is awesome. It's epic, it matches the vibe well, and when the Muktarak is out of the muck, it changes to this goofy little music. It's just really well written, and I think it's a great piece of music to fight to, especially for this one. In first place is the Colgera fight. This is an incredible piece of music to fight to. It is so epic, making the fight all that more awesome. And the use of like the wind instruments fits with the sky element so well. It's exciting, it's epic, it's intense, it's just the perfect track for this. Okay, so now for the results. In last place, with a score of 12, is the Queen Gibdo. In third place, with a score of 13, is the Marbled Goma. In second place, with a score of 17, is the Muktarak. And in first place, with a score of 18, is Windblight Ganon. Wait, no, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here, Windblight. Gosh. Okay, so in first place, with a score of 18, is the Calgera. Look, I'm not surprised that the Calgera won. Just like I wasn't surprised Varuda won in the Divine Beast ranking. It really is a great boss battle, despite being kind of easy. I enjoyed all of these bosses though. They are definitely a step up from the Blights in a design standpoint. But I mean, the Blights were fine, and it made sense for that game. I think honestly, the gameplay of the Blights are all better than these new bosses, with their like different attacks and stuff. I just feel like gameplay-wise, the Blights are better to fight. But I think all of these new bosses are all super cool. But I'd like to hear from you guys. Which one of these bosses is your favorite? Mine is Calgera, so yeah, I'm pretty awesome. But hey, we all like different things, right? There's nothing wrong with liking one of the other bosses more than the ones I like more. Hell, even liking the Blights more than all of these bosses is perfectly fine. Like what you want to like. Alright guys, it's time for me to head out now though. I'll see you all next time. That means you too, Windblight. Yeah. Get out.